Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Henry, your host, and I'm super excited to have you with us today. If you're here to improve your English and learn some useful phrases for everyday conversations, you're in the right place.
That's right, Henry. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah, your co-host, and we're thrilled to bring you another fun and practical episode. Today, we'll be talking about common English phrases that you can use in your daily life, whether you're chatting with a friend, asking for directions, or making plans.
Exactly. We know that learning grammar and vocabulary is important, but sometimes what you really need are those everyday expressions that make you sound more fluent and confident.
Yes, and that's why we've prepared a list of useful, easy-to-remember phrases that will help you communicate more naturally.
We'll cover phrases for greetings and small talk, asking for help, and making plans. And we'll also explain when and how to use them in real-life situations.
Plus, we've got some role-play dialogues to help you hear the phrases in action. And as always, we encourage you to practice along with us.
So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode, English Phrases for Daily Life. Let's get started. All right, let's jump into our first segment, greetings and small talk. These are the phrases you use when you meet someone, whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even someone new.
Exactly. Small talk might seem, well, small, but it's actually a big part of sounding natural in English. It helps break the ice and keeps conversations flowing.
Let's start with a few casual greetings that you can use instead of just saying hello. One of my favorites is, how's it going?
Yes. How's it going? Is a super common way to greet someone casually, and it's easy to respond to. You can say something like, "Good, thanks. How about you?" Or even, "Not bad, can't complain."
Right. It's a great phrase to use with friends or coworkers. Now, another friendly expression is, what have you been up to?
That's a fun one. It's like asking, "What's new?" or "What have you been doing lately?" You can respond with something like, "Oh, not much, just keeping busy," or "I've been working a lot."
And if you haven't seen someone in a long time, you can say, long time no see. This is a casual way to show that you're happy to run into them.
It's a simple phrase, but it works really well. Imagine bumping into an old friend at the store. You might say, "Wow, long time no see. How have you been?"
Exactly, and sometimes you might want to comment on your day or how you're feeling. One common phrase is, better late than never. Let's say you're late meeting a friend. You could joke, well, better late than never, right?
It's a lighthearted way to acknowledge that you're late without being too serious. Little expressions like that make conversations feel more relaxed.
Okay, now let's do a quick role play to show how these phrases work in a real conversation. Ready, Sarah?
Ready? Let's pretend we're meeting at a coffee shop after not seeing each other for a while.
Hey, Sarah, long time no see. How's it going?
Hey, Henry? Yeah, it's been ages. I'm good, thanks. Just keeping busy. What have you been up to?
Oh, not much. You know, the usual. Work, podcasts, and trying to stay out of trouble.
Better late than never, right?
Exactly. Hey, it's great to see you again.
See how natural that sounded? These phrases are short, simple, and easy to slip into everyday conversations.
That's right. And the more you practice them, the more confident you'll feel using them.
So here's a tip. The next time you talk to a friend, try starting the conversation with, "How's it going?" or "What have you been up to?" Notice how they respond and practice your own responses.
And don't worry about being perfect. The goal is to keep the conversation going and enjoy connecting with people.
Exactly. Okay, we've covered some great phrases for greetings and small talk. Now it's time to move on to our next segment, asking for help and directions.
Welcome back. Now that we've covered greetings and small talk, it's time to move on to another essential part of daily life, asking for help and directions.
Yes, because let's face it, no matter how well prepared you are, there will always be times when you need to ask for help, especially if you're in a new place or situation.
Absolutely. And when you're learning English, asking for help can sometimes feel intimidating. But don't worry, we've got some simple, polite phrases to make it easier for you. Let's start with one of the most polite ways to get someone's attention. Excuse me, could you help me?
Yes, this is a great phrase to use when you need help from a stranger, like if you're lost or looking for something. For example, you might say, "Excuse me, could you help me find the nearest train station?"
Exactly. It's polite, direct, and gets the conversation started. Now, once you've got someone's attention, you might need to ask for directions. A useful phrase is, how do I get to?
Right. Let's say you're trying to find a museum. You could say, "Excuse me, how do I get to the city museum?" It's short, simple, and clear.
Another helpful phrase is, I'm looking for something. For example, I'm looking for a pharmacy, or I'm looking for Main Street.
And if you don't understand the answer right away, you can say, "Could you repeat that, please?" This is a polite way to ask someone to say something again if you didn't catch it the first time.
Okay, let's do a quick role play to show how these phrases might sound in a real conversation. Sarah, you can pretend to be a tourist, and I'll be a local.
Got it. Let's say I'm visiting your city and I need some directions.
Sure, what do you need?
"Excuse me, could you help me?"
Oh, it's pretty close. Just go straight down the street and you'll see it on your left.
"I'm looking for the nearest train station. How do I get there?"
Of course, just walk straight ahead, and the train station will be on your left.
Got it. Thanks so much. And sorry, could you repeat that, please?
That's how it's done. Notice how Sarah used polite phrases like, excuse me, could you help me? And could you repeat that, please? These little phrases make a big difference.
Perfect. Thank you for your help.
Exactly. And here's a practice tip. The next time you're out and about, try asking for directions. Even if you already know the way, it's a great way to practice your speaking and listening skills.
Yes, and it's important to stay calm and confident, even if you don't understand everything right away. Most people are happy to help if you ask politely.
Great point. All right, we've covered some key phrases for asking for help and directions. Coming up next, we'll talk about making plans and suggestions. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. Now that we've covered greetings, small talk, and how to ask for help, it's time for our final segment, making plans and suggestions.
And don't forget to listen carefully to the answers. You might hear words like intersection, crosswalk, or landmark. These are all useful when giving or receiving directions.
Let's start with a super casual and friendly phrase. Let's catch up sometime. This is a great way to suggest meeting up with someone you haven't seen in a while.
This is such a useful skill. Whether you're arranging to meet a friend, planning a weekend trip, or just making casual suggestions, there are some common phrases that can help you sound more natural.
Another really common phrase is, how about we do something? For example, how about we grab a coffee? Or, how about we go to the park this weekend?
Right. It's informal and easygoing. You might say, "Let's catch up sometime next week," or just leave it open and say, "Let's catch up soon."
Exactly. And if you like someone's suggestion, you can respond with, sounds like a plan. This is a casual way of saying, that's a good idea.
This phrase is great because it's polite, but also leaves room for the other person to agree or suggest something else.
Okay, let's show how these phrases work in a real conversation. I'll pretend to call Sarah and make some plans for the weekend. Ready, Sarah?
It's such a simple phrase, but it makes you sound really fluent. For example, if someone says, "How about we meet at 3 o'clock?" You can say, "Sounds like a plan."
Hey, Sarah, how's it going?
Ready, let's do it.
Not much. I was thinking, let's catch up sometime this weekend.
"Hey, Henry, I'm good, thanks. What's up?"
Perfect. Saturday afternoon works for me. Let's meet at the coffee shop near the park.
That sounds great. How about we grab a coffee on Saturday afternoon?
See how easy that was? We used phrases like, let's catch up. How about we do something and sounds like a plan to make plans quickly and naturally.
Sounds like a plan. See you then.
Here's a practice tip. The next time you're talking to a friend in English, try using one of these phrases to suggest something like, how about we watch a movie this weekend? Or, let's catch up soon.
Exactly. And notice how we kept the conversation short and simple. You don't always need a long conversation to make plans. Sometimes just a few phrases are all you need.
The key is to keep practicing. The more you use these phrases, the more confident you'll feel.
And if someone makes a suggestion, you can respond with, sounds like a plan, to agree, or you could say, maybe we could do something else instead.
Welcome back. Before we wrap up today's episode, let's do a quick recap of the key phrases we've learned and give you some practice tips.
Exactly. All right, we've covered some useful phrases for making plans and suggestions. Now, let's do a quick recap of everything we've learned today.
In segment 1, we talked about greetings and small talk. Here are some phrases you can practice. How's it going? A friendly way to ask how someone is doing. What have you been up to? Use this when you want to know what someone's been doing recently. Long time no see. Say this when you run into someone you haven't seen in a while. Better late than never. A casual phrase for when you're running late.
That's right. We've covered a lot today, so let's break it down by segment.
And finally, in segment 3, we learned some useful phrases for making plans and suggestions. Let's catch up sometime. A casual way to suggest meeting up with someone. How about we do something? A polite way to make a suggestion. Sounds like a plan. A fun way to agree to a suggestion.
Then in segment 2, we focused on asking for help and directions. Here are the key phrases from that section. Excuse me, could you help me? A polite way to get someone's attention. How do I get to place? Ask this when you need directions. I'm looking for something. A helpful phrase for finding places or things. Could you repeat that, please? Use this if you didn't understand something.
You can practice with friends, classmates, or even by yourself. Try imagining different situations and how you might use these phrases. For example, pretend you're asking for directions in a new city or making plans with a friend.
Now it's time for you to practice. We challenge you to use at least 3 of these phrases in your conversations this week.
Remember, practice makes progress. And the more you practice, the more confident you'll feel when speaking English.
And don't forget to focus on your pronunciation. Say the phrases out loud, record yourself if you can, and listen to how you sound.
Welcome back, everyone. Before we say goodbye, we've got a fun listener challenge for you.
All right, that's it for our recap and practice time. Coming up next, we'll close out the episode and leave you with a fun challenge.
Here's how it works. Pick a situation, like meeting a friend, asking for directions, or making plans, and try to use phrases like, how's it going? Or, let's catch up sometime. You could even write a short dialogue and practice saying it out loud.
That's right. Today's challenge is to use at least 3 of the phrases we covered in this episode in real-life conversations or while practicing on your own.
We'd love to hear how it goes. Share your experience with us in the comments section of this episode, or send us a message on social media. What phrases did you use? How did it feel?
And if you want to take it a step further, try recording yourself using these phrases. It's a great way to hear how you sound and improve your fluency.
Thanks so much for listening to the English Learning Podcast today. We hope you found these phrases useful and that you're feeling more confident about using them in your daily life.
Remember, the key is to have fun and keep practicing. You're making progress every time you try.
And stay tuned for our next episode, where we'll dive into even more practical English tips and phrases. Until then, keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, small steps lead to big progress.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review, and share it with anyone who's learning English. Take care, everyone, and happy learning.